A lot of times companies are making smaller, or if I may say, more routine acquisitions, and what are some best practices in those situations. So in the blog article, we are suggesting these are some of the must-haves as part of your communication during your earnings. For your smaller acquisition, you want to obviously share the basics of the deal, which would include purchase price, what's the impact to company's revenue and EBITDA. Next, you want to show how the deal is aligned with your strategy and speak to the benefits that the acquired company brings to the table. We also suggest you give an overview of the company, high level, its products and services, speak to its scale. And then optionally, you may talk about the integration plan, which is useful if your track record isn't the best, but otherwise you can leave it out. Let's dive into the real example. We can check, like, does it cover these things? And hopefully this serves as a useful example as you build your communication. Here's an example. This is a B2B company in the networking technology space. This is the opening of their earnings. Obviously, they start with like, how was the quarter in terms of high level financial KPIs? And immediately then they dive into the highlights for this acquisition. I feel like mentioning the acquisition in the very first page is a good practice. Keeping this up front, make sure that you're not missing about this acquisition announcement. Let's dive into the main slide itself where they are talking about the acquisition. I like the headline here. Very simple. Belden to acquire this company. I like this subheading as well. It immediately speaks to the benefit. In this case, it strengthens their offering. This is part of one of their key segments, and it immediately hits on that. I like the things on the right, and I almost feel like, hey, maybe this could be the first thing to talk about. This could be on the left itself and should be the first thing to talk about. I like the highlights here. 290 million purchase price. How is it financed? All cash. Revenue, $150 million impact will be this growth to next year Belden's revenue. And then they talk about EBITDA. Looks like the EBITDA margin is in line with Belden's average. So I like all the highlights here. They're super important to the investors. And then as we look into some of these other highlights, I like what they are saying. It sounds like this helps them cross-sell or upsell to existing customers. Talks about this company is a top supplier in this space. It also says, hey, this product is used deeper in the network. So it's one of the early things people buy, and so it probably presents more market expansion opportunities. And then I like these pictures. Shows the range of products that this company has. Overall, I would say they did a good job. They talk about impact to their segment. They talk about impact from a cross-selling or a market expansion standpoint. They've given all the key details that the analysts and investors are looking for pretty easily. I would say this is a good reference to keep in mind as you think about conveying smaller, more routine acquisitions as part of your earnings presentation.